Hi, grade 5. In reading these last few days and last week, you have been exploring the setting in your novel, as well as the mood of the setting and how this setting might affect the characters, how they act, what they say, what they do, and what they think. Today, we're going to be exploring and investigating the precise language that authors use to set the setting and the mood. The strategy for today is your teachers want you to notice how the author's language evokes emotions and images. That word evokes means to bring up feelings or memories. For example, this language, tumbling snow, that helps the reader envision the weather of the setting and envision how the snow is falling down. When you think about setting, it's important to pay attention to the author's specific language. This helps you to understand the mood and the atmosphere of the place. This helps you to imagine the place and reflect on how the place might be affecting the characters. Let's take an example from the video that you watched earlier. Now, this is just one small piece of a large text that I have not read yet and don't have access to. But I'm going to do my best to analyze the setting and the mood just from this one small piece of text. "What time is it?" Tim asked Jacob. All around them, taxicabs honked their horns and hordes of people in suits pushed by on their way into office buildings. Let me think about this specific language that the author chose. What image is it evoking or bringing up in my mind? What is it suggesting or saying about the mood of the setting? And I wonder how that mood is affecting or could affect the characters in this setting. Let's take a look at how I've thought and written about this portion of text. So, what image does that language bring into my head? Well, here you go. I closed my eyes and I could see in my head taxi cabs going quickly and honking and people rushing in the streets trying to get to work. So I found images that matched what I saw in my head. Here's a city, New York City, because that's what I imagined with all the yellow taxi cabs. New York City, busy, cars honking and rushing by. Here's somebody pushing their way to get to work. And that made me think that's not a calm and peaceful setting. So I also thought of someone in that setting, and this is how they feel. Well, after I took a good look at these images, the words to explain the mood or the feeling of the setting came to mind. And that mood is stressful or rushed. Then I thought about how might this part of the text and this setting be affecting or represent how the characters are feeling or what they're thinking or the things that they're doing on this page and the things that they're saying to other people on this page of the novel. Well, again, I just have a small text. It's not really a page from a novel. So it was hard for me, but I thought maybe this character feels panic, rushed, lost, or overwhelmed. Very similar to this lady right here. Lastly, I put all of my thinking into a small piece of writing, my analysis. Let's listen to what I wrote. The image evoked by this language is a busy street rushing with cars and people. The rushing cars and honking horns make the mood of this text stressful. This might represent what the character is feeling inside. Maybe he or she is feeling anxious, stressed, rushed, lost, or overwhelmed. Did you notice how I used just the language to think about all of those different parts of the setting? Let's take another look at a different example. On the screen is a page from Popularity, our first read aloud. On this page, it's the very beginning of Popularity, and Will is reflecting and looking at the Allens and thinking about how much he wants to be friends with the popular kids and not the Allens. Let's read what I have underlined. While the two Allens faced off, I looked across the black tar and asphalt at a crowd of boys who were making more noise and seemed to be having more fun than anyone else on the playground. I'll keep reading. These were the popular boys, and in the center of this group stood their leader, Sean Owens. Sean Owens was the best student in the 4th grade. He was also one of the humblest, handsomest, strongest, fastest, most clear-thinking 10-year-olds that God ever placed on the face of the earth. Now, I have underlined, I looked across the black tar and asphalt. This is Will looking across the black tar and asphalt. Well, what is black tar and asphalt? Well, it's what people make streets out of. So, what image does this give me? Clearly, the black tar right there pouring out and the asphalt. That's very literal. But another image I have in my head that's not real, it's imagined, it's figurative, is that Will is kind of stuck in this black tar. Well, what is the mood that this language or the feeling this language is evoking in me or suggesting? I think that this mood, this part of this language, in this particular part of the text, which is talking about the setting, is evoking a mood of feeling trapped, stuck, dark, and unhappy. And how might both this language of the black tar and asphalt and the mood that I'm thinking of, how might this part of the text be showing or representing how Will feels, what he's thinking, what he's doing or saying? Well, in my perspective, Will feels stuck with the Allens and dark or unhappy. Do you see the connection between what Will is feeling about being stuck with the Allens and how the author chose to put, I looked across the black tar and asphalt? That's not coincidental. That was specific language that the author put in there to set the mood and the setting and connect it to how Will is feeling. That's my perspective. Lastly, I'll read you my analysis of this language and how it relates to the mood of the setting and the characters. On this page, Will is thinking about how he is stuck with the Allens. The mood is frustrated or stuck. The image evoked is black tar and asphalt that are dark and sticky, and I'm imagining Will is stuck in the tar. The setting for Will is figuratively a dark and sticky place for Will. This is a place he might feel stuck in bad friendships. So let's review the steps that I took as I was reading and writing about my reading today. I went back to the text, Popularity, and I reread a part I thought was important to the setting. I did the same for the fight, but I felt like I found a better example to show you in Popularity. You should look through the text, the novel that you are currently reading. I looked for specific words or phrases that could be meaningful to the setting. I thought about what image these words evoked or brought up in my mind. And I copy and pasted images that were similar to the image in my head. For example, the black tar, Will being stuck, the busy street. I thought about how the mood and overall setting might be connected to or affecting what the character is feeling, saying, doing, or thinking. And lastly, after I wrote these notes, I put all my notes together in a small, short analysis paragraph. This is the same thing you'll be doing today for your writing about your reading. You will be working on this today and tomorrow. You have 2 days to do this analysis, this thinking. Because you have 2 days, manage your time well. Think about what is the work that you want to do today and what is the work that you want to finish up tomorrow for this assignment. It's important that you start it today so that you can take your time to do high quality work. The reason that your teachers are giving you 2 days is because we don't want you to rush through your work. We want you to take your time, really go through your text and find a meaningful page that has meaningful and important language about the setting. Take your time to think and analyze and draw or find pictures of the image. All right, grade 5. On the screen, you will see the steps for your work today. You will also see this in your seesaw activity. Please use the reading slides to help you with your work today. Happy reading, happy thinking, happy writing.